Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, November 9th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will still be moving around and changing. That's because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol TNON. Did this a couple days ago, and you can see from this red line here, resistance, the price broke out today and made a very big move. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines as they serve their purpose for now. And we'll kind of just start afresh here as far as new updates are concerned. So the first key dynamic here is just going to be potential pullback areas. You can see right now as I speak, there is a little bit of a pullback. So if this pullback does continue, where are some potential bounce points for the price? So let's get a couple of those mapped out. First key level to watch is this former breakout area down there at right around that 275 mark. And to me, that's a one of those areas where if the price can stay above there, the chart would still look very impressive. And I'm not saying this will occur, but for explanation's sake, let's say the price does head down here and then levels out and does something like that. I mean, think about what you'd still have. You'd still have a set of lows there. You'd have lows there. You'd have lows down here. And then if you envision those as stair steps from the big picture, you'd still very clearly have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. And again, that assumes that the price pulls all the way down to 275. Not saying it will, but that just illustrates just how strong of a chart this is, where it can afford to have a price move down that far, yet still have the overall chart very much so in an overall uptrend. In terms of areas of resistance, pretty straightforward here. Just a question of where did the party and momentum finally stop today? And that was right up here at the $4.60 mark. So keep a close eye on 460 moving forward. But all in all, the trend continues. Very nice movement today. Not just a question of can this thing continue to build those higher bases. We'll see how it continues to play out. Next one here, PRSO. Nice pattern here. And let me be very clear as I draw this pattern. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that this is some great discovery. A lot of people have noticed that the price on 3 separate occasions got rejected up there right at essentially the 38-cent mark. So once, twice, 3 times right there. So you got to think a lot of people are watching that level. And when lots of people are watching the same areas and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can definitely produce some very dynamic movement. So while there is no such thing as a guarantee, is it plausible? Is it valid that if the price comes up here and then pushes up through that level, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible outcome. In terms of areas of support, level here that stands out. Get this trend line in play right there. So to keep an eye on that, let me change that to green to represent the support. And then to make it all the same color from a pattern standpoint. So we have resistance, we have support, we have the huge move up right here. For make it a little bit more visual, put a golf hole down here. This would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennant patterns, definitely keep an eye on this one. Next one here, REAL. Very nice mover here. Now, as I speak, yes, it is pulling back currently, but big picture wise, the chart is still made a good solid move. So I'm going to get my first key level in there from a resistance standpoint, and that sits right there at that trend line right there. So keep an eye on that level, which is presented some problems, but again, you got to think a lot of people have drawn that trend line, so you can have those potential self-fulfilling prophecies where if the price can come up here, get to that level, and then get a break. Does that break create additional buying pressure? Not guaranteed, but a plausible outcome. In terms of levels of support, key level here stands out to me at least right down there at that area of $1.95. So let me get that changed. And then real quick, just to make it easier to see from a pattern standpoint, resistance, support, big move up, golf hole down here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So maybe you don't really like penny stocks, but you like stocks down below $5 and you like bull pennants, then definitely keep an eye on this one. Next one, WISH, and as we've been talking, which is a theme, we have a very well-defined level of resistance. So as I've said it, that's not a great discovery. Got to think a lot of people are watching 533, so which brings about that talking point of self-fulfilling prophecies. And then as far as support is concerned, whoops, grab the long, there we go. As far as supports are concerned, when I do that, change that to green, we have ourselves, yeah, you guessed it, you know where I'm headed with all this, but I can't help myself, so I got to draw it in. So resistance, support, big upwards move here. Yeah, you got it. Another bull pennant pattern. Next one here, AMC, and no worries, it is not a bull pennant pattern. But what we have here from a technical point of view, and once again, self-fulfilling prophecy completely in play here, because the price is not that far away from that pink line, which I've talked about before, which on my chart denotes a very famous, a very well-known 200 period moving average. And so far, so good. You can see earlier on in the day, the price never hit it exactly, but got within the general area, held strong, nice bounce. Once again, right there, never hit it exactly, but got within the general area and bounced. But as I speak, you can see this last 30 minutes, there is a red candle here forming. So it does bring to mind, at least in my opinion, a valid question of, okay, is this price going to come down here and retest it again? And does that level hold? So that is potentially maybe some sort of triple bottom type setup here. So we have bottom 1, bottom 2, and do we get bottom 3? Again, that is a situation where if you like those sorts of patterns, then yeah, this is one that I'd certainly keep an eye on. In terms of areas of resistance, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area of resistance down. Yes, 1050 is still an area of resistance, but now that we have more data, I would say that the nearer term level of resistance to keep an eye on is right there at 1035, and any sort of breaks above 1035, next key level 8, you'd want to watch very closely up there, that purple line, the 50 period moving average. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, ticker symbol RIVN, and nasty, nasty gap and trap today. I mean, price opened up all the way there, went a little higher to think some poor souls were buying right there, and then that 30-minute candle down, and then it dropped some more. But what makes this interesting is you're now getting a bit of an upwards movement here. So yes, there is an upwards channel, but with that being said, you have to consider also what was happening before this upwards channel, and what happened before that is what I started off with, this big drop down here, which is now giving me the ability to draw a bear flag pattern. Now, just because something is a bullish pattern does not mean the price will go up, and just because something's a bearish pattern like it is here does not mean the price will go down. My point here is that, yes, to be fair, there is an upwards channel, but I'd be skeptical because nobody would be shocked, at least in the world of trading, to see this thing all of a sudden head downwards and get that bear flag breakdown. So yeah, nice bounce here, but is that a guarantee of anything? Of course not. And you gotta want to be very wary about it. Now, if the price can come up to that purple line there and get a good solid break, then at that point, okay, the bear flag has been broken, and the conversation starts to kind of shift a little bit. But as of right now, I would just classify this as a bear flag. Next one here, CDIO. Talked about this one yesterday. I'm going to go through this relatively quickly because the lines that I talked about yesterday completely played a role in today's movement. So the first area that I talked about was up here at $1.65, that main area of resistance. And yeah, you can see right here, the price struggled to build momentum whenever it got up around that area. So sure, a couple times got slightly above there, but again, in terms of establishing and maintaining momentum, it was just not able to do that. And then the second level that came into play was this trend line here that I drew in yesterday's video. And you can see right here, I mean, the power of charts, price came down here and didn't hit it exactly, but got very, very close and held strong right there. So like I said, nothing has changed going into Thursday. Main level of resistance still stands at $1.65. Initial area of support at that trend line. But if that level can't quite hold up, then the next level of support you'd want to keep an eye on is that 50-period moving average right there. But all in all, so far so good. The price is just consolidating today. No price can go straight up every single day. But as long as these consolidations take place at higher levels, that's what matters from a bigger picture perspective. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. And we have some interesting dynamics here going on. So yes, overarching, nothing has really changed from at least a resistance standpoint in regard to that level up there at $226. But what I'm curious about and what I want to get in place is, do we have a trendline battle here? Do we have some sort of leading indicator that we can throw out there that'll help us suggest if this level is broken, when the 226 mark might be broken? So let me change that to make it a little bit different there. So what I'm getting at here, and of course, this is not a guarantee, but if the price can break through this downtrending trend line right here, I think that becomes very plausible. Again, high volume break, that's the leading indicator that not only will the price get up to 226, but also push through it. Once more, no guarantees, but I think that's a plausible thought process to go through. But that is why risk management matters. So like I said, I'm very curious about that trend line right there. We'll see if it can indeed act as a leading indicator of that $226 mark being broken. In terms of areas of support, keep a close eye on in the near term of that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average. But as of right now, in my opinion, the most interesting dynamic is all about that resistance trend line right there, and can the price break it? Next one here, LCID got absolutely demolished today with a gap down, but showing a little bit of strength here, which makes this interesting because the price has gone up and it didn't roll right back over. It at least went up a little bit and then started to go sideways. Now, I wish I could say trading was this easy, and I could say that just because the price has started to show some signs of strength and then gone sideways, that this means for sure guaranteed that this thing is going to continue up. Not quite the way it works. But once again, talking about plausibility, is it reasonable to think that, okay, maybe just maybe this thing is getting warmed up for another move upwards? I think so. And maybe you disagree. Maybe you don't find anything interesting about this at all, and that's fine. That's what a watch list is all about. You got to find what you think is most interesting, what you think dynamics are, and I'm trying to find something for everybody. But like I said, I find this, and I think I can see other people finding this interesting, where you have a relatively popular stock beat down, show some signs of life, not give back the gains. And I should say that because if you trade long enough, you've seen situations where you see some life and then it just completely crashes back down. And that has not happened yet here, at least. It's gone sideways. And then the final thing is check out the last 30 minutes here. Good, solid amount of volume. So yeah, is this some sort of early signals of a bottom forming where there's going to be more upside action? Like I said, if you find these sorts of ingredients interesting, then I definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market is going to go up, this one will also go up. And like some of these other ones, nothing really new here to report from other videos I've done in terms of key levels to watch. Namely, this red line up here at 39.40, key level of resistance. And yeah, started off the day right up around there. You can see opening 30 minutes. That's right where it got rejected before, going back down. But that doesn't mean that I can never, go back up there and do battle again. In fact, as I speak, you can see nice afternoon action as the price creeps back upwards. So that seems to be the main question mark probably on a lot of people's mind is, can the price get back up there and finally push through? Or is it going to be some sort of double bottom pattern? So, definitely a couple different ways you could approach that. But however you approach it, that doesn't take away from the fact that the main dynamic here is going to be that 39.40 mark that you got to think a lot of other traders are watching. In terms of pullbacks, if there is any sort of pullback, got a couple different choices. Well, now the higher priority one is going to be that purple line there, the 50-period moving average, because that line has moved itself up above that area right there at 38.23, which was the key level. But now that the purple line has moved above it, that actually takes priority number one. And then if that level is violated, then priority number two is down there at the 38.20-ish area. But all in all, healthy day. Yeah, got a bit of a pullback, but nothing to go straight up every single day. But there's no crashes or anything like that. So we'll see if the price can indeed make another run back up to that 39.40 mark. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for that free live class. It'll be Thursday, November 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Those sorts of things communicate to me that you're enjoying. And as long as I know you're enjoying, then I will continue to do these videos. But I'll be honest, the past couple have gotten like 1 or 2 comments. So I'm wondering, do people even enjoy these? So if you do enjoy, then please drop me a simple comment. Say hi. Tell me what you traded today. Give me your watch list for tomorrow. But hitting the like button, leaving a comment, like I said, that sort of feedback lets me know that I'm not wasting my time doing these. So if you enjoy, then please do those two things and go get signed up for that free class. So thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.